Shalom and welcome to this week's edition of the Rabbi's Ramblings. I hope you've had a healthy and successful week. In this week's parasha, Parashat Shoftim, Judges, it says, Ki Adam Eitz Hasadeh, that for a man is a tree of the field. And our sages teach us that there are many things that we can learn from a tree. One of these areas that we have lessons to be learned from a tree is in the area of education. We see that there are four main components that allow a tree to grow and blossom. Today we're going to examine two of them, and the next week, God willing, we will examine two more. The ones we are going to discuss today are earth and water. When it comes to having a healthy tree, we see that we need to have earth. It has to be nutrient rich. It also has to be able to dig its roots deep down, and the soil has to be firm in order for the roots to take hold. So too when it comes to educating a child. Firstly, there has to be a nutrients-rich soil. There has to be values. There has to be a message that we are trying to teach our children. And we have to recognize that our children are not mushrooms. They are going to have deep roots. But in order for these deep roots to take place, the earth must be firm. We cannot say, today our standards are this. Tomorrow our standards will change because it became popular for something else. We have to stand firm. We have to set rules and stick by them. And in this safe environment can a child truly flourish. When we look at water, water brings to the table when it comes to growing a tree is that it allows the nutrients in the soil to be absorbed by the roots. While in Hasidic teachings, water is compared to humility. In order for a child to learn, he or she must be humble. If the first thing a child does when they hear a lesson is, oh, I know that already, then there's no way they're going to learn. But more importantly, we as teachers, as parents, must have humility. As the Alter Rabbi illustrated greatly, in a story that there was once a chassid who was coming to the Alter Rabbi and to discuss with him matters of teaching other people. When he approached the Alter Rebbe's room, the first Chabad Rebbe, he saw that the Alter Rebbe was crawling on the floor with his young grandson, who was on his back. Not wanting to disturb, he walked away and came back a short while later. At which time the Alter Rebbe said, "Oh, it's a shame. You should have come a few minutes earlier when I was crawling around with my grandchild, because that is a perfect example of how a teacher has to be humble and go down to the level of his student in order to be able to be a good teacher." If we want to teach our children, we have to hear where they are coming from, understand their perspective. And that will allow us to impart the proper message. Until next week, we will continue with the two more components it takes to grow a healthy tree. Hope you have a wonderful week. Shabbat Shalom. And remember, you matter, so make a difference.